something cool I did here, I believe it was the props class, but we got to make our own swords out of metal. I had a lot of fun working with metal, especially learning how to make a metal sword. I like welding. I wish I had more time to practice with it. That gave me the time to learn and use the tools. I just really liked it. It was a lot of fun, and I got to make this giant broadsword and learn how to make a hilt for it and do all this decoration and stuff for it. And then I get to keep it and take it home. For Rumors, I am the assistant set designer, and I helped Heather, who is the set designer. She asked me to be the paint master, so I got to pick out the paint scheme, and I'm doing the art that's going to be hanging on the walls, and I get to do a lot of stuff that I haven't actually done before. And so I decided on colors after talking with the director and Heather, who's the set designer, and we changed the colors a lot, and we finally chose a gray-blue for the walls, and then brown trimming, and then red for the accent color. Super modern paintings that are splashes of paint or something like that. Yeah, Three Penny Opera was pretty much making gears 24/7 while I was here. I had to make about, I don't know how many gears, there were probably 50 or so gears that we had to make. And they were all from at least 3 foot to about 6 feet or so wide. And they were all really detailed, so we had to make them plywood bases and then have foam pieces that made them look 3D. And of course, because they're gears, they have all the little teeth and stuff, you had to use either the bandsaw or jigsaw so that you can cut them out and make them look really nice. And then after we finally made them all, we had to paint all of them. Avenue Q, and they asked me to be the puppet master. I pretty much took care of all the puppets that were for this show. And each puppet usually there was 1 to 2 or 3 different types of each puppet. And people were fiddling with them, handling them a lot, so their fur would get matted or their hair would get mussed up. And because I work a lot on my own with different fabrics and stuff, and I like taking care of stuff in a way so that they look nice, they chose me to actually take care of the puppets, groom them, make sure none of the seams ripped, make sure they were in good condition, so that when they went out, they weren't too messy. I started cosplay, which is called actually costume play, my senior year of high school. You make a costume based on a character that you like, or you see in a show, or pretty much anything you can make a costume out of. And I just started out really simple, taking clothes, altering them, and then I finally learned how to sew, how to use tools, how to build things out of almost nothing, like cardboard. Because I'm a college student, I don't have the money usually to buy foam or super expensive tools, so I used what I had, which was usually cardboard and craft foam or fabric that I buy. One of the ones that I would love to redo it, but people really loved it, was his name was Origami Cyclone, and he had full plated armor, and everyone loved it, and I was it was actually just made out of cardboard that was covered with craft foam and then painted to look like armor. And it turned out really nice, it looked really nice, but it was probably one of the cheaper things that I made. Props for Dracula was very labor intensive. I had a lot of fun, but it was also very stressful, because for Dracula there were so many little props, there were so many detailed props that we had to have, the kill box. There was Van Helsing's kill box, which pretty much housed all of his tools that he used to get rid of vampires. And so it had a crucifix in it, he had a stake and a hammer, all these different vials, a rosary. And then we also had things like the blood transfusion device, which they wanted to look like it had blood going through it, which is very hard on such a big stage like Hanaway. It was a big proscenium. You weren't sure if anyone's going to actually see it or not. But I tried my best. I actually made it out of like a baby bottle that we had. I cut apart a baby bottle, put some red fabric in it so that when you pulled up this lever, it looked like there was blood going up